Narrated Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, Faith, belief, consists of more than 60 subdivisions or branches, i.e. parts, and Haya. This term Haya covers a large number of concepts which are to be taken together. Amongst them are self-respect, modesty, bashfulness, and honor, etc. It is part of faith. A deep question we mothers face is, how do you teach your daughters to have Haya and self-respect in a country such as America, where the most skankiest, most lewdness type of woman gets rewarded? From the red carpet to Hollywood, no matter which way we look at it, we see that women are rewarded for exposing themselves to the highest degree. How can a culture that allows strip clubs to exist call itself one that denotes honor to women? Modesty is the pinnacle of self-respect in a real way. Bashfulness makes a good wife. A good wife is honorable. A good man is honorable. Yet, such terrible institutions that degrade the human being are allowed to operate in a place like America that calls itself a Christian country. Haya is considered to include bashfulness, and haughtiness and bashfulness cannot coexist within the same person. Beauty pageants are something that's very common in America. Some even start at the child age, and it's really grotesque when you see a little girl with so much makeup on, parading around. It's disturbing. And you wonder, when you so focus on the outer parts of a woman, from the very beginning when she's small, this doesn't include self-respect, it doesn't promote modesty, and it doesn't really promote honor. It just encourages lust and sets women up for failure. They think it's promoting self-care, workout motivation, but in reality, when you marry only for looks, you really forget that when she has children, when she ages, if she gets some type of cancer, something happens, you're gonna need to work things out. And as we know with so many folk tales, that tons of evil women were quite beautiful at one time, and that witches in general are quite attractive. So beauty is something that can trick men, especially. Now, since Haya includes self-respect, we must examine how alcohol erodes your self-respect because it makes you sloppy. And we know quite well that when men give women drinks, that it makes it so that you are not shy. Your inhibitions become loose. You begin to act more promiscuous. You lose all shyness. You're not bashful when you're drunk. You're loud. You're stumbling your words. You can't even stand sometimes. Others, they urinate on themselves. So the more you have bars all around, nightclubs and things like that, where women and men can erode their self-respect and harm their honor because they act really stupid, you'd be surprised how many people will see you as really remarkable when you're sober, but when you start to drink, they just look at you like, this guy is not really who I thought he was. He just is off the wall. And when you become an alcoholic, you definitely slide down into the mud of society, and you can't maintain your honor because you'll do dishonorable things. So it would be wonderful if, America did actually have more Sharia law, where such alcoholism wouldn't even be allowed to flourish because we would close down all the bars and all the nightclubs. Because those nightclubs reduce al-haya. They make it harder for someone to maintain their faith, and they only cause decay in society. So when we think about our own reflection, do we like what we see in the mirror? How can we like ourselves as we age? How can we still feel like we have honor even when beauty is lacking? Well, that's when your ethics come in. And Islam has excellent ethics. You can see that part of having faith, part of being a good Muslim, is being modest, having self-respect, having dignity, grace, fortitude, all these aspects. So, here we see that there's been some research done on social media affecting girls' mental health and how they view their own body. Okay? Now, as women see more and more lewd women who use AI to enhance their images, and they botted likes like, oh, this is how you have to behave and how you have to look in order to get men's attention. Because, I mean, most young ladies, they don't want to be the social outcast. They don't want to be the Shrek. They want to be desired. Okay? And so when we have social media like Instagram that is just focusing on women's bodies, sure, this allows gooner men to get satisfied, but it hurts women overall. Islamic modesty cuts that off and forces you to have a realistic view of yourself and to have an authentic self-esteem, because it's no longer tied to just how others perceive your body. And girls could have 100 likes, great comments of, oh, mommy, and like the emoji with heart eyes and eggplants and whatnot. And then suddenly someone will say, oh, you look like this or that, and people freak out. They can't handle it. And it's important for many people to give proper self-esteem to their children. Okay? And if we reduced how many women are plastered all over on billboards, on social media, with their immodest nature, this would increase women's self-esteem and help women not to feel jealous or insecure in their marriage, will help men to lower their gaze, and increase people's faith overall.